As you know, Irshad Manji has been with us since yesterday, and this evening she's going to be speaking to parents. So if your parents don't know about it, we've been sending emails. Please tell them they're welcome to come. We have space. It's from 7 until 9. And Irshad is here to talk about moral courage, which is a really difficult concept, I think. Ethos and a way to live by. And I'm not going to explain what those things are because I'm going to allow Irshad to have a conversation with you. But what I also would like you to know is tomorrow at 12:20, you can go into the junior school library Learning Commons, and Irshad will be there as well for those of you that would like to discuss further what we've talked about today, or you may want to talk about other things, but it's an opportunity to have an informal conversation with her. So I think you're going to enjoy the conversation. Don't be scared. Be open, be honest, be authentic, and enjoy the conversation.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. What she said. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Hey, everyone. Hi. So I know most of you said that you're having a good day, which sometimes is what you're supposed to say. Who's having a lousy day so far? Hands up. Does anybody want to tell us, me, why it's been a lousy day so far?
I ate too much sugar.
What, in your Cheerios or what? Like what's for breakfast? Yeah. Ever thought about cutting down on sugar? It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard. I was actually thinking about that last night. I've got to cut down on my sugar as well. Check in with me 2 months from now. Let's see where I'm at. Yeah, you.
Math test.
Math test, what happened?
It's just like mentally upsetting.
Wait. Having a math test is mentally upsetting?
No. Looking at the page and like, what did I remember?
I know, right? For me, it was too. And I don't mind admitting to you guys that in grade 12, so, a few years down the road for you guys, but in grade 12, I was with all of my super smart friends in honors algebra. And dudes, I just couldn't keep up. I just could not keep up, and I had to be brutally honest with myself about that. And I thought to myself, okay, if I stay in honors algebra, knowing that I can't keep up, I'm going to do lousy. I might even fail, and that will totally affect my GPA, my grade point average, and that will also affect my ability to get into the university that I want. On the other hand, if I leave, if I drop out and go to regular algebra, which is frankly where I belong, I'm going to be embarrassed. I'll feel a little bit ashamed in front of all of my smart friends. And, they might lose whatever, I might lose whatever cred I have with them. What do you think I did? Yeah.
You still left?
I still left? Okay. Anybody have a different prediction? Yeah.
You stayed so they would like it.
I stayed so they would like me? Yeah. How many of you people think I stayed? Hands up. And how many of you guys think I left? Now tell me, I'll tell you in a second what I did. Now tell me why so many more of you think I left. Yes?
Because sometimes it's challenging, your mindset is away.
Ouch! Dude, you're telling me that I quit when something gets challenging?
Almost like it's a natural thing.
Oh, it's a natural thing. Okay, like it's human nature. Okay, well, let me just say for the record, whatever it is that I decided to do, which you don't know yet and which I'll tell you about in a second, I personally definitely don't quit when something gets challenging. Just putting that on the record. But you're right, it is a natural human tendency to do that. And I've always been a bit, of a fighter, so I tend to not go against human nature, but I tend to, do more than most human beings do for themselves. So, okay, so the question again, to be perfectly clear, is why do so many more of you think I left than stayed? Yes.
I think you would have better reason to leave
Uh-huh.
because that would affect your grades
Uh-huh.
or just being embarrassed because you might want to get to university because if you get to that university you probably won't know those people anymore.
Right. Right. Interesting. Very interesting. So in other words, getting, maintaining my grade point average and getting into the university I want outweighs being popular with my friends. Right. Okay. Interesting. Thank you for that. Right at the back. Yes.
Maybe because if they were really friends and they cared about you, then they wouldn't be ashamed of you that you left, or they wouldn't embarrass you.
Right. They wouldn't judge me for it. Right. Great point. Great point. And I'm going to take one other thought. Yes.
Maybe sorry. Maybe it's because a lot of people think if they were on the situation, they would quit, so they would relate it to you and think that you would relate to it.
So in other words, by leaving for the right reasons, I could give a sense of permission to other people to do the same. Fabulous. These are really, really insightful points you guys are making. I love it. So, okay, I'll go to you and then I'll tell you what I did.
Well, if they were actually friends, they would actually understand that you were feeling uncomfortable in that environment and that you wouldn't want to stay in a place that makes you uncomfortable and you dread going to algebra class because it's so absolutely horrible because you have no idea what you're doing.
So absolutely dreaded it because I so had no idea what I was doing. Exactly right. So all of you, thank you for that. All of you have kind of, in different bits and pieces, given the right reason for why you're left. I didn't. And the reason I left is that it was causing me so much stress and anxiety. And I don't know about depression, but pretty close to it. That I decided, you know what? My health is more important than what my friends think. And the fact of the matter is that when I did leave honors algebra, I was the only person who did. And so, yeah, I don't mind saying I was, embarrassed, even ashamed. But because I was capable of doing algebra, just not at that level, and because I knew I was awesome at so much else that I was taking at school, I didn't actually have to feel inadequate, for not being amazing at this one particular subject. And let me tell you, paying attention to how I was feeling, i.e. anxious and totally stressed out and a little bit depressed, if not a lot depressed, made all the difference in the world. I listened to my gut. I listened to my conscience. And it was absolutely the right decision to make. And yes, my grade point average did not suffer. And yes, not only did I get into the university that I wanted, but, this is kind of important, I got into it with a full scholarship, which I'm not sure would have been the case if my GPA had really suffered because of, my need to maintain this lie that status is so important. I tell you all of this because I know very well that even at this age, we're all thinking about what our friends, think of us. No one wants to feel excluded, obviously. No one wants to feel, singled out or targeted. And the question is, since this is such a huge topic, like huge, because by the way, it's not just at this age, right? It's like all of our lives. The question is, how do we begin to even deal with it? It's actually about the culture that we live in. And not just about, what grade you're in. Well, to begin chipping away at this, and maybe give you some insights into how you guys can improve the environment at school for people who may need to do something bold and courageous for themselves, but worried about what their peers, what their friends will think of them. Let me tell you a different story. And this is one that I'm actually truly embarrassed to confess to you. The one about honors algebra I'm not embarrassed about. I was embarrassed at the time, but I'm not embarrassed to tell you that I think I made the right decision. I am, however, embarrassed to confide to you that I was a bully in grade 7. There was a girl named Marilee. Obviously, I shouldn't say obviously because you don't know her, but she was a really nice girl. She annoyed me. And I don't quite know why, to this day, she annoyed me, but she did. She got under my skin, she bugged me, just by being her. And instead of being mature and being the leader that I'm supposed to be, I descended into becoming a bully. I would actually make prank calls to her house. And I would whisper into the phone, "Hello, lesbian." "Hello, Paul." So bad. Like, I'm really, really embarrassed to tell you about this. In fact, it's making me a little emotional. And I don't know why I did it. The other thing to tell you is this, that years later, I came to realize I was lesbian. So was it my own insecurities? Was it my own lack of self-acceptance? I don't think I knew at the time that I was exactly what I was accusing her of being. But it's not like me to bully people. And I still did it. To the point where even her parents knew that it was me. And one time I remember really clearly when I made a prank call and whispered what I whispered, her mother answered the call and she said, "Hi, Irshad, how are you?" They were never rude to me. They never threatened retaliation. They handled it with utter dignity, total class. Because I think they recognized that actually I have a problem, not them. And since then, I've tried to track down Marilee to apologize to her. I haven't been able to find her. I even know her last name still, and I haven't been able to find her. But when I do, I will really make it clear to her how grateful I am that she and her family handled my stupidity and my abuse with such grace. I stopped bullying, after I got into grade 8. I don't quite know why I stopped, and I don't quite know why I started. But I know that every time I see bullying happen, I'm that much more sensitive to it because I was there. And nobody told me to end this behavior. My first question to all of you is, why don't we still, as a culture, take personal responsibility to tell bullies that what they're doing doesn't make them cool or powerful or strong or admirable? What stops us from just developing the backbone to tell bullies that you see right through them, and that in fact, what they are is insecure, not strong. Right at the back, let me ask, what stops this?
So you don't get killed in some cases.
So you don't get killed in some cases? So in other words, you're afraid of what would happen to you?
Yeah.
Yeah? For how many of you is that true, that you're actually afraid of what would happen to you? And I get it, I get that. There are other reasons though, I'm sure, because, you know, you experience, you encounter bullies and you know, right, that they're just so pathetic that if I tell them what's really on my mind, you know, they can take a punch, but I doubt they will, because I'm going to tell them that I see right through them. So what stops us from even doing that? Yeah. Yeah.
I guess.
Shall I come back to you?
Well, I guess we're scared that they'll make judgments of us and they won't listen because every time when they are bullying us, they do kind of take away our confidence. They just, yeah, they kind of take our confidence away. So to the point where we can't speak at all.
Isn't it interesting? I think you're right about that, by the way. Isn't it interesting that we actually care what jerks think of us? Like, it's one thing to care what, you know, somebody who is thoroughly decent thinks of us. But the fact that we give a rip about what a jackass thinks of us is really, like, bizarre. It's twisted in human beings, it seems to me. But I think you're right. Yeah, yeah. Why else? Why else don't we confront bullies with the truth? Not just to tell them to stop, but to tell them things like, you know what? I see right through this. And you're not powerful. You're insecure. Yes.
That I feel bad for them, and that I feel like you said that you just cause like more harm. You don't want to harm them in a way that you feel bad for them.
Right. So, okay, so you're being sensitive, right? That, you know, you don't want to hurt them, even as they're hurting other people. So maybe the approach is not, I see right through you, you're not powerful, you're just insecure. But maybe there's a different approach to take. And yet, so often, we still don't. And the question remains, why don't we? Yes.
Well, mine's kind of related to sweetness, because even if they're like a bully, if you say mean things about them, that makes you a bully too. Like, it's not any better to say mean things about them.
But what if you're trying to resolve the situation? What if you've actually, you know, mustered the courage to defend, I'm going to say, somebody who doesn't have a voice, who doesn't know how to bring her voice out. But you have just enough confidence to bring your voice out. And you know you need to do it in a non-bullying way. Is that possible? To do it in a non-bullying way? Hands up, those of you who think it is. Okay. So now, since so many of you believe it is possible to confront a bully in a way that doesn't stoop to their level, tell me, how would you, if you knew that I was doing this to Marilyn, how would you have dealt with me? Yes.
I know that if you're feeling bad, it seems okay to say and let you realize that it's bad. But what you really need to do is apologize and realize that it's okay to feel like this, just in specific.
Wow. I think that was so wise that I'm going to ask you to please come up. And let's turn to our classmates and say what you said to me just one more time so that they can hear. So wise.
I know that things can seem
a little hard if you're feeling bad inside, and it can seem okay to do things, but you don't realize that they're bad. And you don't need to do this, you just need to apologize nicely, and you just need some support and help to get back on the right track.
That's the note. That's the note that you will leave on my desk, right? Would you sign the note? So I knew who it was coming from? Yeah? And would you also say something along the lines of, and if you'd like support from me, I can help you? Thank you so much. What other approaches can we take? Yes?
I would probably ask them, like, is this making you happy? Is this benefiting them? Make them realize it themselves without telling them.
And what if they said to you, what are you talking about?
I would probably say, is hurting other people, does it help you? Does it hurt you? Does it make you feel good?
And what if I said to you, actually, yeah, it does me.
I'd probably just say, think about it, in the long run, it's making them happy.
And would you have a face-to-face conversation?
Depending on the way it goes, and what they're doing.
Mind you, of course, you could also have a circle of friends, right, that you could bring with you to show that you're not alone in being troubled by my behavior. And also, frankly, I have a much harder time touching all of you out than just you, right? So that's always another option. Okay. Let me go to someone I haven't gone to yet. And have I gone to you yet at the back? Yeah. No, I don't think so either. Okay.
Irshad,
yes.
you can repeat, we have trouble hearing them.
Okay. All right. Very good. So, as you heard Ms. Yune say, if you could please raise your voices, that would be great. Yes.
But are we saying this to people?
Yeah, you're saying this to me, to both of you.
Well, I would say, like, how would you feel if you were the person being more, like, would you feel instantly, like, every day?
So you would try to put me in the shoes of the person who I'm doing this to. Right. And if I said to you in response, well, you don't know what my situation is. You don't know how much I have to deal with. You know, I've got issues of my own, and you know, life isn't fair to me. So why should I be fair to others? Because it's not nice. Yeah. The problem, of course, with a bully is that they don't really care that they're not being nice. If they cared, they would be bullied. Yeah. So that if they have issues at home, maybe they should talk to their parents. And I would tell you, look, you don't know my parents. My parents don't get it. They don't understand. In fact, they're the source of my problems. And by the way, just as I asked our wise friend here, would you offer yourself up to help that person find the right mentor to talk to? Yeah? Just a couple more thoughts on this. Let me see. Who haven't I haven't gotten to either of you? So let's start with you, and then we'll go to you.
Treat a bully with kindness, because
Is that yours? Yeah. Okay, I'll let you. Okay, good. I'll let you still say what you want to say. Treat a bully with kindness because
bullies are looking for comebacks because they want you to get mad and start a fight. But if you treat them with kindness, they can think, oh, what's wasting my time? Can't do that. But if they go to someone else, then they'll stay confident because bullies are trying to find their weak parts.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Bullies are looking for a fight. Don't give it to them. But that doesn't mean, of course, don't engage with them, right? Because otherwise the problem continues. So you got to do it in a way that diffuses the situation. And a couple of the ideas we've already heard, I think, achieve that very nicely. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. They're looking for a scrap. Good point. Yes.
Well, I know that usually if a bully's bullying you, they're being bullied themselves.
Huh.
So, and sometimes like you don't even know that they're bullying you. They just like think that they don't know what they're doing. So like, people just ask you or anything like deeds and stuff.
Ah, that's empathy right there, isn't it? Ask them, are you being bullied? Would you like someone to talk to? See, part of what I'm hearing in all of this, ladies, and this is so cool of you guys to keep, bringing this theme up, is that the way to handle this is with compassion and confidence, and to offer up support, and more than just say, well, get help, to offer yourself up as somebody who can help them get help, right? So that they're not just kind of twisting in the wind, like, okay, I've been told to get help, now where do I go? Right? Yes.
Connecting to what Lisa said, like,
And raising your voice a little bit so everyone else can hear.
okay, so connecting to what Lisa said, like, we could be like kind to them and like engage with them, because be kind to them, and then because they're probably like bullied, and if they're bullied, like maybe we could like be kind to them and they would realize what they done, like just like the girl you bullied, like dad and mom, right?
Yeah.
You realize what you done,
Yeah.
and then you don't even know why. So
Right.
maybe if that person is bullied too, then probably like the person who's bullied that person is probably bullied too. So maybe you can make like a chain of like love to be like kind to all people.
Huh, a chain of love. I love that idea. And you know what? Like, I really, can I give you not formal homework? You've got enough already. But can I give you just and invite you to just think for me about what a chain of love would actually look like? Like, what would that mean? And maybe, okay, I know you have a thought right now, but I want you to give it even more thought, maybe overnight. And let's see if we can catch each other tomorrow and you can actually tell me what that looks like. Go
Can I
ahead.
just tell you, like, I read this book. This book is called, I think, Ordinary Mary's Extraordinary Day.
Okay.
It's like this Mary helped someone
Yeah.
just by doing the little thing.
Right.
And the other person, they kept helping on everybody in the world until the last person helped Mary again.
Really? Ordinary
really cool.
Mary's Extraordinary Day.
Yeah.
Do you think they have it in the library?
I'm not sure.
They do? Awesome. Do not take it out before I do. Just, since I'm only here until tomorrow, leave it in the library for me, girls. Let me take a look at it, and then I promise you that after tomorrow, it's yours to borrow. Okay. I'm going to go to just a couple more interventions, and then we'll wrap things up. So, yes.
If it's some like wise words, like maybe being like life isn't fair and it also doesn't matter. Maybe even like for a sleepover, maybe like maybe even do some crafts or something. Just make them feel like they're appreciated and they're loved.
Now, of course, the challenge in this is that and that's why the chat is so important that you talk about, is that you don't want to come off as rewarding their behavior, right? Like, oh, you're bullying someone, let me become your friend. And together, we'll bully that person, right? Yeah, right? I mean, it's easy, right? For somebody to assume that the reason you're making that overture to them is because you think they're cool because they're bullying. So now they're making friends because of that behavior, when in reality, you're doing the opposite. You're trying to, be the voice of reason and chat with them at the sleepover. So that chat is super important, because without it, whatever issue gets reinforced. Right. Okay, one more thought. Who has like a burning thought to add? Oh. Let me go.
Me?
Yes. Make it
So,
good.
like, what I would say to them is, like, I would, like, go up to them, like, as soon as I can, like, before anything else would happen, and I would, like, tell them that, like, they don't have any right to do that to that person because you don't know their situation either. And, like, even though you might feel like it's okay to do that, and you might have the best reason in the world to, you still will never get, like, the real, justifying, like, how much that will hurt them. And it could just make your situation worse if you do that.
Right. You know, you've just echoed something that I wanted to say as a sort of a final thought about all of this. Remember just several minutes ago, one of the answers, you know, that we got was that when I said, you know, I was role-playing and I was saying that, well, you don't know my life. You know, my life has been unfair, so why should I be fair to other people? The answer that you've just given to that is, yes, your life has been unfair. I hear that. But the way you're dealing with it will not make your life fair. And moreover, you are perpetuating the unfairness against somebody else. So let's actually deal with what's in your life that's unfair, right? Which is I don't know if that's our cue to like wrap it all up. But Chantal, will there be an opportunity for the girls to ask their own questions when, you know, if and when they have more? Will there be an opportunity for them to do that? Tomorrow,
At 12:20 in the library learning commons in the junior school.
Which you mentioned earlier and which I'll now remind you all about. Because listen, I'm not suggesting that any of this is easy, okay? Moral courage means doing the right thing, especially when you're afraid. And that is a very easy thing to remember as an idea. Do the right thing, especially when you're afraid. But practicing it is not always easy. So if any one of you has questions about how, and give me specific situations that you found yourself in, whether on the receiving end of other people's mistreatment or on the doing end of it, please know that it's a judgment-free zone tomorrow, okay? And you can tell me anything, and I will hear it, and we can talk it through. All right? In the meantime, thank you for your listening.